this is a carnivore style meal. Our only cheat is we're going to be using some onions with this meal. You can see what I've got here. We've got the onions cut up into quarters. Got a nice heavy duty stainless steel chef's pan here, and the butter's sitting there. So let's go ahead and turn that on. We're going to turn that on full blast. So we got that going. Over here on this side, we've got right here in the middle some Alfredo white sauce that we're going to use to make our gravy with. We've got, kind of lurking in the shadows, some meat, and that is 1 pound of very good quality ground beef, and then some special hot dogs. These are smoked sausage, Eckrich brand skinless smoked sausage from the dollar store. We're going to give those a try. Used those in the past, and we want to brown those up. So we'll go ahead and get these cut up into some little pieces. These are just warm. When you buy these from the store, they're already pre-cooked, but I do want to stripe them up a little bit, warm them up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and set that back burner on high. Set that on high. And we're going to stripe them up real good. This is a very simple meal. It's just basically a lot of different meats. This front pan here that you see, we're going to put some sausage on that. Well, this one we're going to use some Jimmy Dean. Some nice Jimmy Dean sausage in this meal, but we want it for flavor and some of the gravy. This pan here, I have got a thin coating of the avocado oil. Sausage is really bad about wanting to stick, so we'll lay that right there on the avocado oil. Things are going to start happening very quickly. Let's get that a little bit thinner so it'll cook good. We want to cook this up. We're going to, like I say, we're going to use this for flavor and also for the grease. And this big main pan over here, this is going to be the big boy. Everything is going to all jump into this pan. So that's the goal. We're going to set this front one on high. Everybody's going to high except this one. We will put him on number 3. So he's on number 3 now. Alfredo sauce is shook up. That's 3/4 of the jar left. We want to caramelize those onions. This beef has been cooking real nice and slow, so he's in good shape. And then on the sausage, I'm going to go ahead and get it peppered a little bit. A little bit of black pepper. Just a touch of black pepper. Get that done. Now let's see how quick all this comes together. Again, on these, all I'm doing is making some stripes on them a little bit. That beef is not going to get hurt. We just want to stripe these sausages up. They look like super-sized hot dogs. With meat, if you make it brown, nice and dark, almost black stripes, then it will have a tendency to put a little more flavor in there. There's the sausage. See if we can get it looking a little prettier. There's our sausage. I'm going to use a little bit of salt in that. Salt it up just a skosh. A little touch of salt. A little touch of salt on our onions. And they are ramping up fast, so we're going to go ahead and put the onions on about number 7. Looking good. Getting some black stripes there on that. I'm liking that already. That's got all the heat that needs to make that black. So we'll go ahead and turn him down to number 2. Number 2. Turn down. That's getting black in a hurry. And that's fine. That's what we like. Nice black stripes and brown stripes on the hot dogs. Let's go ahead and get this beef, get him turned over. All right, let's see who's going to be the first one that wants to volunteer to jump into the pan. Let's see who it's going to be. Is it going to be the sausage? See him trying to stick? It won't be him. He's not going to jump in there. Let's try the beef. We'll make the beef the first guy to jump in here. He's going to jump in. And we're going to go ahead and cut this up into chunks. Just This may still have a little bit of red. We'll see about that. It's looking good. No red there. I'm going to go ahead and do this by hand so it can't get away. I don't have a fancy fork with me. That's fine. That's a little bit warm. Okay, so the beef is definitely in the picture. He jumped in there. These will be whole service pieces of beef. Break him up just a little bit. And he's looking good. Okay, so that beef is good. You can see that's still got a little bit of pink, so that's good and fresh. That's 1 pound of grass-fed beef that was finished off with some nice feed at the store feed. A very good quality. So we got him, he's happy. He is part of the mix now. Beef. Next, let's try these onions. They look like they're starting to caramelize a little bit. Get them finished up. This is all going to happen pretty quick. Those onions are caramelizing. All right, these hot dogs, they're getting scared. They said, please, please help us. We're burning over here. We need some rescue. So I'm going to get a different, get my spatulosis that's got curb on the side of it. Let's get them into the picture. There they go. Now they are in the picture. See how fast this is going? I'm making a mess on this stove, but that's okay. I'll clean that up. All right, so we got that now. We got some nice special smoked sausage. We've got the beef. Let's try this sausage here. Ooh, it's getting black. See that? Now that's happening. Check these onions, see what they're doing. Onions looking good. They're starting to get caramelized a little bit. We don't want to cook them where they're just disappear, but we want them to have that good flavor that comes from being in that butter. Let's turn this back one off. He is off. Let's turn this front one off. Him is off. And this needs to be cut up. Go ahead and cut this into pieces. Make sure it gets done all the way. We made this last week and it came out so good. This simple. I will put a little bit of garlic seasoning in here, a little bit of onion. But it worked out real good. For carnivore, people that like to eat meat, you'll notice there's no vegetables in here, no green beans, no corn, no hash browns. The only thing we got is the onions. I will make an exception for those. They're not of the nightshade family like a tomato or a bell pepper would be, so they don't tend to cause us any problems. Okay, so that burner is off. Both those are off. Let's make a contribution here of that. There goes our little bit of hot Jimmy Dean sausage. That can go out of the picture. Get that stirred. Let's start putting some sauce to this bad boy. Here comes some sauce that I'm afraid of. That's what I call it. When I make chicken with it, we call it chicken I'm afraid of. Got about, we call that about 4 ounces of water. That'll wash that jar out real good. We don't want to waste any of that. We're going to use that for simmering. A little bit of water. Now the next step, turn these onions off. That is for the back burner. Get the onions into the game. Let's see if they want to play. There's some onions. Such a simple way to make a meal. And now what we do with this, to keep the dogs, we got some big old German Shepherds around here, to keep them from jumping up here, because we got some counter cruisers. If you leave that on that front burner like that uncovered, you will have you some counter cruisers. Now we'll give this a nice stir, make sure everybody gets some of the white sauce on them. Get that pan out of the picture. Turn it into the galloping gourmet, or the hopping gourmet, the messy gourmet. Got a little bit of everything going on there. Now, if you see some pieces of meat in there that are a little bit big, now's the time to go ahead and make a little cut to them. We can do that with this special combat spatula that I got, all metal steel spatula, stainless steel. heavy duty. Those onions came out nice. Now we're gonna get this where it looks pretty. Some white sauce. Get the onions to lay down in there, the meat to lay down in there. And the last step is we'll get a little bit of garlic. This is just plain garlic from Walmart. Let's hit it with that. A little touch of garlic. That's done. And now for a fancy lid. This is my fancy lid. But we're going to put this on a very specific temperature. We want to go to number 2. So that's secure. We will come back and check on that in about an hour. Let that sit on number 2. Let all those flavors marinate. And the cheese sauce will pick up a little bit of the grease, and that'll make a little bit of gravy. We'll have some of the pork, some of the beef. Those hot dog sticks are pork and chicken, and those will marinate in there. And then I'll give it another little stir, and we'll take a look at this here in about 45 minutes, and it'll be ready to eat in about an hour. And after about 45 minutes, we are back. Let's have a look at this. And there you can see, this pan lid was a little bit too big on purpose. I did that on purpose. That lets the steams vent out, roll off this. I clean this up with a paper towel, but that keeps all your moisture from recycling right back in. We're trying to make this have kind of a thick gravy. And look at that, man, that's some good looking stuff. Now that nice white sauce has got some eggs in it. It's got some milk. It's got some whey, some milk fats, and things like that that'll make a good gravy without using flour, which we try to avoid flour. Being carnivores, I'm making a mess here as usual, but we can clean that up. But that's some pretty good looking stuff. Looks very delicious. My wife tasted a little piece of the sausage. She said it tasted good. Some of the smoked sausage. So we'll go ahead and serve a plate of this up. And I'm going to take a little taste test of it. German Shepherds came in, so even more so now we've got to keep that guard on there. I want to taste a piece of the sausage, a piece of the beef, a little bit of onion, and a little bit of gravy. What else we got? Small piece of the pork sausage, a little piece of that. And let's see here. One more little piece of sausage. I want a piece that's got the black stripe on it, like that. I'm gonna be the taste tester guy, see what this tastes like. And for safety's sake, we're gonna push this to the rear, turn that off, put that to the rear on number 1 on a small burner. Got a nice mess there. Put that right there like that. Try not to burn the world up here. Quick clean up on aisle 1. And let's try the flavor of this and see what it tastes like. Right here handy. Let's check the onions. I want to see if they're, wow. Onions are nice and tender. There's a little piece of the beef. That chunk of beef, I cooked it as a whole 1 pound package and then cut it up. If you notice in the cut up, it seemed a little tough, and that happens when you cook it real slow like that. But by making this special gravy like this, it gets real tender again. It's kind of like eating. It reminds me so much of smothered steak. It reminds me of my mom's smothered steak. Man. I'll tell you, carnivore is the way to go. Our exception here is the onions. Don't beat us up too bad. If you're 100% carnivore, you're a lion diet, and all you eat is beef, that's good for you, but I'm telling you, I've got to have me some onions because we're going to have them in the garden. We need those in the garden. I'm going to get me a fancy knife here and cut that little piece of sausage up. See if I can get him. That's got a black stripe on it. Cut that into pieces and taste it. It got tender too. Little black stripe is for flavor. I'm just doing a taste test here. It tastes delicious. The sausage got tender too. It's how grandmas used to cook. Put everything in a pan, put a little sauce in there, simmer it real slow. Number 2 was just to simmer. When I pull the lid off, it'd just be bubbling real slow. Nice and gentle, not overcooking anything, not boiling it. You don't want to boil it to death, not trying to make meat soup. Man. And that's just, that sausage, it's from the dollar store, the Eckerd, however you say it. Dollar store stuff, delicious smoked sausage. It's pork and chicken. They also sell that sometimes with jalapeno and with cheese. It's good too. The onion, very tender. And the gravy that this makes with no flour. It's all about that Alfredo sauce. That Alfredo's got black peppers, got garlic. That's some really good, very good Alfredo sauce. It's got ground up Parmesan cheese, and that adds a delicious flavor. So, now you have seen how to make a nice carnivore meal. Real simple, just 3 different meats cooked real fast, thrown in the pan, a little bit of Alfredo, caramelize some onions, and just enjoy. That makes a real simple, delicious meal. Now I'm gonna fix my wife a plate. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. All the dogs are waiting to see if they can come up and get on top of the stove, and they're not going to get to. But thanks again for watching, and click that little like and subscribe if you would. Thank you so much. Over and out for now.